I guess we need to talk about Seed. She's got some issues. This is your Seed first impressions video. Oh yeah, post-release, we did it. We did one. We did it. Please, if you want more, watch the video. Are you looking to save money on top-ups? You should be using LD Shop. This is a top-up service for Zenlesszonezero, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Wuthering Waves, any gacha game of your choice. It is safe and reliable. You can save up to 22% off for your top-ups, and the Internaut membership normally costs $4.99 in the official store, but here it's only this much. It's very easy to top up. Simply enter your UID, server region, and shortly after, you'll get the product directly on your account. Get a 15% off coupon for signing up with my link below. You can also get an additional 5% off coupon. If you spend $80 in 1 month, you get a free Internaut membership. That is LD Shop with my link in the description below. Are you saving money? You should be saving money. Let's start with how I feel about my Seed guide. Do I feel like I did a good job preparing the community for Seed? Yes. Do I think I included all of the gameplay nuance that I could without playing the character? Yes, and I think I did a very good job of capturing it. I think the tip about needing to use Seed's dodge counters was incredibly important and is something that's still being missed by people. And I do think it's important that people know to use the punch before or at the start of stun. I think those are really important things to know. Something that I do wish is I wish I put farther emphasis on it. I wish I made a point to highlight that Seed is the main DPS in your team. She is not a DPS in your team. She is the character dominating essentially all of the field time, and anything you do with other characters should be while you cannot currently control Seed. That is something that I did not stress enough, and I regret that, which is why it's here. And I'm talking about it right now. I also don't think I gave enough of a talk to Trigger versus Astra for team building. Here's the thing, Trigger and Astra take the same slot in the team. While essentially Trigger is the first character that gets replaced, and Trigger is very often arguably worse than Astra. You can try to look at it as a flowchart between the two. M0 no engine, Astra is better. M0 with engine, Trigger is better. M1 with engine, Trigger is better. M1 with no engine, Astra is better. You could try to break it down that way. That kind of misses a lot of the nuance though. So let's talk about Electric Week boss Typhon Destroyer. Trigger is always worse than Astra here, and Nicole too. Basically always. The same can also, or the same may also apply to Construction Complex, and the flowchart applies when we talk about the new boss, the Defiler. I want to take a quick second to talk about the Defiler. That's her name. It's, look, English isn't their first language, okay? It's a very unfortunate naming convention, but the Dami Mami, it's a hard boss. It's a hard boss to score high with any character. And yes, Seed is one of the best options. The problem is that Seed probably isn't as dominant as she should be here, which is why we get to talk about what's missing and what's wrong. Yes, Seed is going to get better. Orphe releases in the second half of this update, and she is the current best in slot for Seed teams. I do not think that is up for debate. That is technically a fact. I think people may still be disappointed by their results once Orphe releases though, and that's the big concern. That Orphe may not be good enough to hold up Seed, or a significant enough bump to hold up Seed. I do think people are going to immediately get better results with Orphe because the gameplay is much more streamlined. It assists you in playing Seed the correct way. So you can definitely see score improvements just by adjusting how Seed is played and giving her more field time. But we still got to talk about how Seed is now. Seed is chill. I love this stupid emoji. Okay, I love it. It makes me smile. It makes me smile. I love it. It's so funny. Something about it. Okay, it's peak. Seed chill. She's very chill. She emanates chillness. But sometimes a chill attitude doesn't do enough damage. One of the reasons why Seed doesn't do as much damage as some other characters is because she is balanced, or she is designed to have a second attack agent in the squad. This means that Seed is not the only damage contributor, and having damage on your second attack agent really does matter, because Seed herself is not doing all of the heavy lifting by herself, and she isn't intended to. I understand how that can feel a bit at odds with what I was explaining about Seed being the main DPS, but it'll make sense if you try to play it. Beyond that, there are some things that I'd like to complain about. These apply with Orphe as well. The days and decibel generation in Seed's teams are too fucking low. They need to be tuned up. Seed doesn't generate enough decibels or do the days she probably should. And it's a bit frustrating because you can very quickly run into inconsistencies with your decibels because of it. I also want to talk about an elephant in the room about Soldier Zero Anby. So Soldier Zero Anby is the character that has been singled out as getting buffed. She's getting buffed by Orphe releasing in second half, and she is getting buffed directly. They have gone in and declared, hey, Anby is not performing where she should be, we're going to buff her. Which is great. The problem is, people are currently comparing Seed to Soldier Zero Anby. This will be more difficult of a comparison when Orphe releases, hopefully, but the fact is, this comparison is being drawn. It's kind of a problem for Seed to be compared to a character that has been singled out and essentially unanimously decided as bad or behind. This is not good. The other problem is Seed's team is the same as Soldier Zero Anby's. So if they buff Soldier Zero Anby, maybe the best team for both of them will be Seed and the other attack and a support. Or it could be Anby, Orphe, Trigger, and Seed could be left out. This is something that's difficult to approximate and difficult to talk about because we don't know when and how impactful these buffs for Soldier Zero Anby are going to be. The most we can do is guess, and I'm gonna guess 12%. They probably don't want Anby to just be better than Seed. They would probably want them to be similar, the same way they did for Hugo and Ellen, where they are more similar than they are different. But the fact that this comparison exists and that we're here now, it just leaves Seed in a pretty precarious position, which sucks, but that's life. Man, frustrating. Speaking of frustrations, I have two frustrations. One, it's a real big personal issue, all right? I put so much energy into this new set. Why am I stuck at 33 subs? Why is my Seed set so bad? This is Glorp! But anyway, besides that, they do not do anything to Seed. If they don't want to change a thing, change one thing. You should not need to hold attack as long as you do for her to do the big punch. I just want her to automatically do the big punch as the follow-up for the smaller mecha punch. I don't want to have to hold it a little extra before I can swap. I just want to swap. It's so frustrating when you do the swap and it turns out you didn't hold the mouse button long enough and she doesn't do the big punch. Now you just got to reset. This is... Words cannot be used for how frustrating I find this, for how much of a problem it is. Because it shouldn't be a problem. She should just automatically do it. Why does it need a separate input? Why? Just do it. Please. Please just do it. Ah! Hold the button. I do hold the button, but I don't hold it long enough because I'm trying to keep it short and it's so grief. Anyway, I really like Seed and I highly recommend you pull her.